So that's a basic list of what we're going to need for today. Like I said, make sure you pull all this stuff out first. The mixing bowls too, you don't need too many. You can get away with just one, um, but this is basically what you're going to need throughout the whole recipe. So make sure you do have all that stuff out. And then your ingredients as well. You want to make sure that you have all your ingredients out in front of you for the same reason. It's just going to take you longer to go through the recipe if you're going in and out of the fridge, in and out of cupboards to grab things. Once you start actually, have your hands on the chicken, it's really important that you're not going through your cupboards with bacteria that's on the chicken, spreading it through your kitchen. So that's another good reason to have everything out and ready to go. Your third step is just to make sure that your workstation is cleared, clean, and ready to go. You want to make sure you have a cutting board, and then you have all your equipment around you. Okay, so it is really important to have a clear workstation too for safety, for food safety, and then for personal safety as well. You don't want to tip anything over. You don't want to cross contaminate anything when you're cooking with raw meat. It's a good idea to make sure that you're clear of anything and that your workstation is clean. Okay, so just quick three things you want to make sure you do before you get started. So the beauty of the meal, of the sheet pan meal, is that you don't have to do too much cooking, too much cleaning. Everything's done in one pan. Okay. The size of your pan is going to dictate how much food you can actually cook. So if you have a smaller pan, that's fine. If it's just you at home, then that'll work. If you have a family, you might want to use two sheet pans and like double the recipe. And another good thing is that it's a very flexible recipe. So if there's some vegetables that you don't like, by all means, you can switch things out. So a lot of people, they might not like onion. You can switch it out with another ingredient. Sweet potatoes, you can switch for white potatoes, stuff like that. Okay. And if you're a vegan or vegetarian, you can just replace the chicken. You just have to make sure you know the cooking time for whatever you're replacing it with. But everything in this recipe here has been put together because the cooking times are very similar. So the first thing you want to do is your cutting board, your cutting surface. Once you have all your tools and all your ingredients. So a quick tip that you can do is actually, if you have a cutting board at home, you can dampen a paper towel or a cloth and put that under your cutting board. What that will do is it'll prevent your cutting board from slipping. So make sure that the towel goes on your countertop, spray it down with a little bit of water or just pour a little bit of water on top of it. And then you can put your cutting board on top of that. So I hope that's not too many instructions so far. I hope you guys are following along. We'll move on to the actually prepping our vegetables. So the first thing you want to do is probably get your sweet potato ready. And what you can do is wash it, peel it, and then you can start to cut it. Okay, so we use a plank method just to make sure that they're all cut in similar sizes. Because obviously, if it's on a tray, you want to make sure they're all cooking at the same speed. So if you have bigger pieces, they're gonna take longer to cook. So the more uniform each piece looks, the better. So what we do is we take it. You can peel it if you don't mind the skin. You can leave the skin on. But if you don't like the skin, you can peel it. Then we cut it lengthwise into like these planks. So they're like a thin plank cut. From there, we'd flip it over and we make another cut so they turn them into sticks. And then what you do is turn it again and you can chop the ends off. Start at one end and work your way down, and you'll now have perfectly cut cubes. Super easy to do. Again, just cut them flat first, thinly sliced, and then cut them into sticks from there. And then you just turn it horizontally, and you can start from one end and basically chop them down. Broccoli is the same thing. You want to wash the broccoli first, and then you want to start cutting off the base of the broccoli. So don't throw those out because you can actually eat them. They're edible. You can save them for another recipe, or you can actually cut them up and also put them on the sheet pan. But same thing with these. You want to make sure they're roughly the same size so that you don't get bigger pieces that take longer to cook. That might be a bit crunchier than the rest of them. So start at the back, cut all the limbs off into equal size pieces, and then you can start putting them the florets, chopping those off as well, and you can put those in your bowl when you're done. The onion, again, if you're not a fan of onion, you can replace this with something else. Purple onion will give you all onions actually make your eyes water. So just keep that in mind when you're cutting it. Your eyes might start to water. So what you want to do first is cut the stem off the onion. That's the papery part. If you don't cut that part off, then you're just gonna be cutting into it. So it's good to take all that papery stuff off. Slice the onion in half so that you have two halves. And then flip it, lay it on its side, and then again you can start to peel some more of that the papery layers. Just peel them back, and then from there you can slice them into 1-inch thick pieces. Okay, so you can see that first picture there is that's cutting onion with the stem off, and then you peel back the paper. You have your half there. Flip it down, and then you can start slicing into the even layers. Okay. All the vegetables, you can put olive oil. You can put all the vegetables in one bowl if you want, and toss it in about a tablespoon of olive oil. Or you can put them in individual bowls and put 2 teaspoons of olive oil in each. But they're all going on the tray, so you can put them all on. Next would be our red peppers, or whatever color peppers you're using. What you want to do with the red pepper is cut obviously wash it first, take the stickers off. Be careful with those stickers because if you forget to peel them off, you'll be eating them with your food. So make sure you cut the stickers off and then clean off the adhesive. There's like a glue underneath the sticker that you need to clean off too. So wash those, remove the peel or any pieces of stem that are still on it. And then what you want to do is slice the pepper in half after you cut off the top and bottom. So the top is where the stem is, and the bottom is obviously where the base is. You want to cut those 2 pieces off, then slice it in half so it kind of unravels, and then you want to cut off the ribs and take out the seeds. So the ribs are kind of the pieces you see that line the middle of the pepper. So you want to make sure you cut those out. So once it opens up and unravels, you can see in that second picture there, you can lay it flat and then start cutting lengthwise into it. So you can remove the ribs, okay? And then again, just like the sweet potatoes, we're gonna cut them into sticks and make sure that they're evenly sized as well, okay? So thin strips there. Same thing, toss them in some olive oil. We put the olive oil on so they don't dry out for all the vegetables, okay? The olive oil will prevent it from burning as well. So what we'll do is I'm going to take my computer over to my All right. So I'm hoping you guys can see everything there. Let me know if you don't. So I was saying all my stations are set up. My cutting board, and I put some water on this. This is really going to help prevent any slipping. It just goes right against your, it goes right on top of your countertop. And just put your cutting board on top of it, and you have a nice strong grip. Okay. What we're going to do is I'll start with the sweet potato. I actually like to leave my skin on. There's more fiber, more nutrients in the skin. But you can leave your skin on. But if you don't like it, what you would do is you would use a vegetable peeler, peel it all off after washing. Okay, so for me, I'm going to cut off these two pieces here. This is the plank technique. So I'm just going to put the sweet potato on the side so you can see it. Proper way to hold a knife is, I actually don't do it the proper way. What they'll teach you in like a culinary class is to actually hold it in between your thumb and your index finger. Okay, hold like this. For whatever reason, I just learned how to do it differently. By all means, whatever way is the safest. You don't have to do it the way anybody tells you how to do it, as long as you're using a sharp knife. That brings me back to a very important piece, which is make sure your knife is way safer to cut with a sharper knife because there's no movement when cutting. Okay? So I'm going to go ahead and slice my sweet potato into planks. You want to make sure they're all equal. Okay. So I cut them all into equal width planks. You can see that. From there, I'm going to stack mine. You can do this any way you want, though. Whatever you're most comfortable with. I'm going to stack these so I can cut them all at once. I'm going to now cut them into sticks here. So always have the bottom surface flat. Okay. So I'm going to cut them into sticks. Again, equal. Everything's the same size. It's all going to cook the same size. So from the side here, you can see I stacked them all up. And you want to try to make sure that they're in equal squares. From there, you would put them in your bowl. You can put all the veggies in the same bowl, or you can have separate bowls for each vegetable, okay? Slide them in. Next, I'm going to cut my peppers, just like the slideshow. I'm going to go through this pretty quick because we have about 5 more minutes. But feel free to refer back to that slideshow, and obviously, when we have the video up, you can go back and watch the video. So this is the stem. I'm going to cut that up, flip it over, cut the base. Okay, I'm going to get rid of those in the compost. From there, just like the diagram, you're going to cut down the middle, put it on that side, and you're just going to slice the ribs off, and it'll unravel for you. Okay, so you can see I'm taking off the ribs and the seeds. Again, that's on the compost. Then from there, you're going to lay it out, and you can cut down the middle. So you're getting rid of those ribs that are they're kind of bitter if you bite into them. So you want to take those out as well. Okay. Perfect. So you can see it's gone. Now I'm going to cut them into sticks again. Again, use whatever method you'd like when you're cutting. I'm just going to put my index finger on top, and I'm going to go down all the way down until I'm done with all my matchsticks. Cut them whatever size you like, but just try to make sure that they're all uniform so they cook at the same duration. And just kind of pile them together so that you can cut them all at once. Okay, so I'm just going to turn this over this way so you can see. Same thing I did with the sweet potato. I'm going to stack them up, and now I'm just going to cut them. Sorry, I'm not going to actually do that. We're going to leave these like that, just like a matchstick, okay? So those will go back. Those will also go in the same bowl for the olive oil. The broccoli, you can get stemless broccoli. It actually will cut down your cutting time. So if it's the same price as the regular, and you don't particularly like the stems, then you don't have. You can buy the stemless. But I'm going to take those big pieces off. Again, compost, and cut down until you get right to the end of individual florets. And try to keep your cooking space clear and clean. Compost. So you'll end up like this. And what you want to do is cut them into uniform pieces as well. Okay. I'm gonna grab my bowl. And that's a little too big for me. I like them a bit smaller. Again, it's a matter of preference, but make sure it's kind of uniform so that when you're cooking them, they cook at the same pace. So again, for these ones, I'm just cutting off the stems, getting rid of them. And if you're lucky, they'll just kind of fall apart into an even number of florets at all even sizes. But if you have to cut, don't worry about it. So that one there opened up nicely. You can see they're all roughly the same size, except for the middle. So I'm going to cut that one a couple more times, just down the center there. Okay. Quickly, I'm going to do the purple onion. I'm just going to clear this off. So purple onion, you want to cut off the stem on both ends, and you want to cut it down the center. So cut it down the center. I'm just going to do half. You're going to flip it on the side that I cut it. And you can peel back the papery or the waxy layers of onion. Okay, because you don't want that. It will be really chewy. It won't taste very good. So I'm going to get rid of these. We're going to start at the base here. I'm going to cut a little bit more off because there's still some stem there. And then from there, I'm going to make my slices, again, as wide as you want, but try to make them all uniform so you don't have undercooked onion. Nobody likes that. Okay, when you're done, what you're going to do with the onion is actually just move it around a little bit so you can break up the pieces. I'll take one big chunk. Out. That gets added to your bowl. You want to make sure if you're just doing it all in one bowl, that the bowl is big enough to hold all of your vegetables, but also that you can actually mix it up with the olive oil. Okay, I am going to grab a bigger bowl. We're almost ready for our pan. So I have a bigger bowl here that I'm going to put all my veggies in. I'm just going to slide this down. I'm just going to dump them all in. And I'm going to put some olive oil in there. You can use avocado oil, olive oil, whatever kind of oil you like. Obviously, some oils are a bit healthier. I like to use either avocado or olive oil. Olive oil has a lower smoke point. So if you're cooking something that needs to be cooked at a higher temperature, then avocado oil is great. So yeah, you can mix it all in. It's really up to you. Some people actually like to. It looks prettier on a sheet pan when you put just your sweet potatoes, just your broccoli, and separate everything. But it's really a matter of preference. Just for time, I'm going to mix everything together. I'm going to put 2 tablespoons of olive oil. The olive oil will depend on the amount of olive oil will depend on how much veggies. The more veggies it has to cover, the more olive oil you're going to need. From there, I'm going to mix all my vegetables together. Just making sure you're coating all the veggies, making sure you're coating the broccoli is really important because it does tend to burn if there's not enough olive oil on it. I'm going to coat all my sweet potato. If you want to salt and pepper your veggies, you can do that now. I like to do it at the end, but really it's a matter of preference. Once that's ready and tossed, you can put a little bit of olive oil on your pan, your cookie sheet, your sheet pan. A teaspoon will be good. If you have a bigger sheet pan, you you're going to obviously want to use it, but you don't want the veggies sitting in the oil. It's just to coat it. Okay. I'm going to move this now out of the way. There's my sheet pan there. So what I'm going to do is dump this on top. Make sure you save enough room for your chicken. That goes in there. Okay, spread it all out. Make sure it's not crowded. If it's crowded, it'll
Sorry, you don't use foil paper?
undercook and steam itself. So make sure there's nothing for it to spread out. From there, what you're going to do is take your chicken breast. You can put a little olive oil on it if you want. There's also already olive oil on your sheet pan, so keep that in mind too. From there, you're just going to sprinkle your seasoning. You can put whatever seasoning you like best. I put a mix of garlic, onion, a whole bunch of other spices. It really depends on what your favorite mix is. Like salt, pepper, paprika, chives, whatever you like. Okay. You're going to coat your chicken with that. Oven on. It's not on already. You can put your oven on to 425. So you put your oven on to 425. Make sure it's preheated. Make sure the oven is preheated. Put it on 425 for 30 minutes. What you want to do is make sure that you're checking up on your veggies. So every 5 to 10 minutes, stir up your veggies. And then also keep your eye on the chicken. After the 15-minute mark, you want to flip your chicken so that both sides can cook evenly. So this is what it'll look like before you put it in the oven. Make sure you have, again, space between all the veggies. I'm going to put that there. We have Michelle Ray from our athletics department. She's doing an incentive program, and she's going to do a random draw. So I'm going to share the screen with her.
Oh, no, you don't. Chris, hi.
No.
Hi.
Hi, can everybody hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Awesome. Chris, your sheet pan looks wonderful and colorful and healthy.
Thank you very much.
You're welcome. So I'm here to award somebody a prize. This semester, we're doing participation rewards, and we're giving away $10 gift cards randomly.
Okay.
We'll just be popping in on some of the programs and then just picking a person who is participating at the time from the screen and awarding them a $10 gift card.
Me.
So honestly, I'm just going to, there's 2 of you here. So somebody pick a name, pick a number between 1 and 10, and whoever's closest to my number will be the winner.
6.
Lisa?
Is she here?
Lisa, what's your number? Did you
5?
say?
She
I
said
think
5.
Lisa said 5. Okay, my
5.
number was 3, so it's Lisa.
Oh.
Nice work.
You were closer. So Lisa, could you do me a favor and just send me your full name and email address in chat? And then I can, you could do it privately in chat. And if you phone number, just in case I have trouble with your email, and then I will send out, you're winning, sorry, a $10 Tim Hortons gift card. Forgot to tell you what it was.
Okay, all right.
Yeah, so just type it in chat, your full name, email address, and if you can, cell phone number, just in case I have trouble with your email address. And then I'll record it. Did you actually, Lisa, did you register for the program? Did you register online for Chris's series?
Yes, I did.
Oh, I can find out your information from there. Do you want to just tell me what your first and last name is?
It's Lisa, Lisa,
Yeah.
Jiang.
Jiang.
Yes.
Okay. I will look for you there and I'll send you a gift card tomorrow.
All right.
Okay.
That's awesome.
Lisa, do you also go to the boot camp?
What do you mean for prizes?
Yeah.
I'm going to be dropping in on everything throughout the semester, just randomly. So
Oh.
sometimes not.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So
Okay.
boot camp is definitely on the list. One
Okay.
day.
Sure. Thank you.
You're welcome.
Thanks, Michelle.
Thanks, Chris. Bye.
Bye.
Here. So we'll just wrap up here. I just got a question down below. I don't use tinfoil. I just use olive oil when I cook or avocado oil, and I'm using a like a non I don't know what you would call it. It's a non-stick, So no, I don't put tinfoil down. I'm gonna actually set my. I don't put tinfoil. I don't use tinfoil. But you definitely could if you don't have a non-stick pan. You can definitely. So we put this in 425, like I was saying. You want to check up on it. So stir. You can use a spoon or wooden spoon to stir up your veggies as it's cooking. You really do want to keep an eye on the broccoli because it tends to crisp up pretty quick. So keep an eye on the broccoli, but give everything a stir every 10 minutes, and then halfway through cooking, flip the chicken. Okay. Because we're cooking it at a high temperature, the chicken cooks really quick. Prevents it from drying out. So that's it from my end. If you guys have any questions, you can take your mic off. Yeah, you can turn your
How long
mic
do
off
you
if you want and
put
ask
in
any
the
questions, or
oven?
you can type it below.
How long do you put in the oven?
So it really depends. Like some ovens are very different, right? So I'm going to say 25 to 30 minutes because some ovens might cook at a bit higher temperature. If you have a meat thermometer, that's perfect. Just grab mine. So I have a meat thermometer here, and I believe chicken is safe after 165 degrees. So if you have that thermometer, it's really easy to make sure you don't dry out the chicken because you would pull it out as soon as it hits that temperature. Okay. I'm just looking here. Yeah, so 165 degrees is what you want to cook that chicken to. Once it hits that temperature, then it's safe. Different meats that have different cooking temperatures. So if you guys don't have any more questions, I want to thank you guys for taking part in our programming. If you do have questions later, or if anything was unclear that you need to confirm up as far as techniques or cooking times or anything like that, just let me know. The email has the ingredients, the instructions, the recipe, and the equipment list. But if there's any information that you need, you can email me at chris.sousa@senecacollege.ca. I think you have my email address from the initial email that you got for the class today. But if you have any questions or want to provide any feedback, you can reach me at that address. Okay.
Okay.
Thank you very much. Have a good evening, and I hope you guys try out the chicken and you enjoy it.
Bye.